Welcome back to TiaNikiQuickies. Today we get into Merida residency, everything you need to know and everything you need to do to make your move abroad. Also, we'll be touching base on some other things like the weather. It's crazy here, y'all, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Also want to send a shout out to my new subscribers. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and sharing my information. So on today's TiaNikiQuickie, we're going to do a quick overview, but a very in-depth and detailed overview of my experience with immigration and the visa process. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first thing you need to know, and if you need to get a paper and pen or your tablet or whatever you need to write it down, 3, 2, 1, here we go. So start in the U.S. That's big. Wherever you are, make an appointment at the consulate and start the process there in the U.S. As a rule, you must start in the U.S. and complete your residency here in Merida in this particular case. I do encourage you to look up other destinations. I know a lot of you all, and I want to thank you all too for the consultations and reaching out to me. It has been wonderful getting to know you all personally. So a lot of people going to Portugal. My people over there, Halisi and Rick over there in Portugal, and scheduling consultations with them also to get the details about that, because it's different processes, different requirements, and different procedures for wherever you're looking at to go. So don't be limited in your looking. Okay, so the first rule, start in the U.S. Okay, what if I don't do that, Tia? What if I didn't start in the U.S.? What do I do then? You'll have to return to the U.S. for an appointment with the consulate. So you can get legal assistance with making the appointment. However, it may make appointment according to availability in the state that you do not reside in. So keep that in mind. Be open-minded and taking opportunities at alternative states that may be just close to you. I may have to travel a bit. However, it will make the process run a little more smoothly for you. Then once you complete that part, starting in the U.S., and I also encourage you to reach out for legal representation here that can assist you with getting the appointment in the U.S. You want to finish in Merida. So once you complete the U.S. side of the residency process, you complete it here in Merida. This is why having legal representation is of great help. Law firms like Valeria's, because we had the immigration or the visa appointment with Servicios, and I'm working on my Spanish, y'all. Servicios Legales de Merida. So, and all of this information will be in the description and contact information, and we'll get into that as well. So, law firms like Valeria's will schedule appointments at immigration and even have a representative stand in line for you here in Merida. She can also talk you through the process each step of the way to ensure that you have documents and that they are correctly filed. So I can guarantee you will need help, because remember, it's not only the visa process, it's also in Spanish. So you will definitely need her or a legal representation of your choice to walk you through this process. Okay, let's talk about this visa program that's going on right now. So 2020, due to COVID, 2020, 2021, and now extended in 2022. They have extended the visa program, which covers this. Okay, so what does it look like? If you've traveled to Merida twice within this time frame, these years, you will qualify for this program through 2021. Now, I came in 2022, so only twice. It has to be twice, but I didn't come in 2021. So it has to be those 2 years, and next year they're looking to extend it into 2024, which will cover 2023 If they choose not, it's not a guarantee that they will. However, if they do extend it, that means you would have had to travel twice in 2023, twice in 2022. So 2 times, 2 years to qualify for the program. Now, since I don't qualify for that program, however, there are many of you that will or that do. This is why you need a consultation with Valeria or a legal firm of your choice to make sure that you can get all the detailed information, how much you would need financially to make that move. So let's move on to important information for temporary residency. And this is a TiaNikiQuickie, so we're going to run through it real quick because it's Friday. The weather here is crazy, guys. It's cool here today. I know that my people are getting hit on the West Coast. Much love out to you. And also, it's cold in the D and everywhere mid-west to east. So I know y'all chilling or going out. Be careful. Anyway, let's move on to important information, giving you a minute to catch up for temporary residency. Pardon me. So now, bullet points. Get ready. Information is no business accounts are accepted. Only personal accounts for your financial statements, which we will get into as far as fees and legal stuff, money. So no business accounts accepted, only personal accounts. Joint accounts are accepted. You will need 12 months of bank statements year to date. Also, very important to make sure all of your information matches on your birth certificate and your passport. So I've had questions about addresses, about verification of addresses. If you look at your passport or if you're going to get a passport, your address is not on your passport. They give you a passport number. Digitally, people can look it up wherever you travel and see all of your information. So whether you need to do a forwarding address or a change of address, it is not significant when it comes to the passport, only the birth certificate. So if you have a middle initial, it has to be on the birth certificate. So these are things that you want to make sure that your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. Okay, so make sure all the information matches on your birth certificate and your passport. There is also a minimum savings dollar amount account needed. So you must have a savings account. There is a dollar amount. You will also need digital paperwork that will be accepted via email to your legal advisor or lawyer. You will also need an additional picture of your passport picture. That'll be needed for your consulate visit for your visa. You may also need an apostille. I was like, what is that? Apostles? Okay, an apostille, which is a birth certificate verification document, and it must be obtained through the Secretary of State for the state that you were born in. There is a process to that, but not everybody needs an apostille. I do, because I'm falling under the family. We're doing the family visa program. So that's what I'm saying. This particular consultation was catered to my needs. That's why everybody needs their own consultation. But this, I'm always going to give you what I know. So the tourist so the apostille. Okay. Next thing, tourist visa extension is not recommended. I know a lot of people get here, they've been here for a while, they want to just extend their visa instead of exiting the country. They like to extend it instead of exiting the country. But that is not highly recommended because it's the same process as getting a temporary visa. Yep, you have to go through all the paperwork. Now, not too long ago, there was an office in Campestre offering these services, but it has since been closed, so that is not an option. There is an office here in Merida. However, the process is rigorous. They charge to translate your bank statements into Spanish, and just think about a year's worth of bank statements being translated into Spanish. It's just a lot of paperwork, a lot of financial overhead. So if you need to travel while you go through the process, this is advised. The closest and quickest place to take a vacation other than the States is Belize. And it is a plus because it'll also renew your visa. So just make sure that you keep up with your allotted time exit before your visa expires, take a quick wrap around the world, go back to the States and take care of business. A lot of people do 6 months here and 6 months in the States. So that is also an option because you can afford to get a small apartment or accommodations here where it wouldn't put you out of pocket. When you need to take a break, you can exit stage left, come down here, you know what I mean, take a break, go back to the States while you go through the process. Okay. Take a breather, and now let's get into the fees. So please keep in mind that these are quotes from my particular path, since I am processing under the family visa program where my mom and I are a team. Numbers: 5,180 pesos. All the figures that I will give you are in pesos, and you should see the USD amount on the screen. So 5,180 pesos per person. All of these quotes are per person. So if you are a family unit, keep that in mind. If you're an individual or a couple, keep that in mind. $5,180 per person for 1 year visa. And that is what is allowed through the process until you renew in 1 year, and they will give you the remaining 3 years. So there will be an additional fee when you go back to do the 3-year renewal. However, you renew every 4 years after that at $5,000 per peso, $250 roughly, depending on the state of conversion at the time. And then also there's no financial paperwork needed for renewals, which I'm excited about. I think you need to get excited because you only have to go through this one time. So, and then the legal fees, which is based on my particular consultation with this law firm, is $6,000 per person for the process. So you're looking at $5,180 plus the $6,000 initial, and then of course in a year later you'll kick out another $5,180 for the 3-year, and then you won't have to pay anything else until you renew in the next 4 years, and you will not need additional financial paperwork. Okay, now reasons for your consultation. Digital nomads will have a certain pathway. My retired people definitely get the consultation because you have a fixed income, opposed to me while I'm still in the working world. Student visas, if you have a child that wants to come over and do it, that's a different process. Citizenship information, just in case you need to know that if you're thinking about it. Business owners, I will tell you there is an 8 million peso threshold of savings for you to meet the requirement for business owners. 8 million pesos. Permanent residency, which is also another pathway, and it is also a different financial requirement. Okay, so digital nomads, retired folks, student visa, citizenship information, business owners, and permanent residency seekers, definitely worth the consultation because some of this information won't be relative to your pathway. Also, if you have a large family, taking into account the financial requirements for that and fees. So, okay, reasons for visa temporary process. Let's get into that. It was explained to me that the reason for these processes is that most people that move here are retired or over 65, and they have fixed incomes. So the laws are kind of shaped to this demographic. However, things are changing, and that's why many procedures and processes are being created, implemented, and extended to assist foreigners who want to live abroad. So things are opening up for us. People are moving around. And then keep in mind also, this is exactly pertaining to Merida. So different locations will have different policies, procedures, and they may have extended. I know like somebody was paying, it was a country that was paying people to come there. Digital nomads visas. So look into that. Also ask about it. In Mexico, maybe not Merida, but other locations in Mexico, like Belize, and the more touristy areas, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, Mexico, city. Okay, just to add on to for the finances, you will be required to have a savings account. This is where no business accounts are accepted, only personal accounts. So definitely ask how much you need in savings. If you're not 65 and older and have, a secured fixed income. So now let's talk about something very important, guys. Please beware of scammers. I've had some conversations with a couple of people, a couple of quote unquote legal people or quote unquote law firms. I've also had conversations with, comrades, with peers and people here who are looking for assistance and going through the process, looking for programs and also looking for loopholes, okay, which oftentimes happens. So understand that there are fraudulent legal representations out here in Mexico, just like any other place, right? So this entire process should only cost you no less, no more than between 500 and 1,000 USD, okay? And that is, keep in mind, per person and then your household. But just as an individual, Halisi over there on Our Black Utopia, we discussed that her process took $500 to come over the entire process. And that is with hand-holding, with someone scheduling the appointment for you, making sure you get to the consulate in the States, and then coming back to this side and completing the process. So if someone is trying to charge you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, this indeed is a red flag. If the website they give you has no picture or contact information other than WhatsApp, this, sweethearts, it's a bright, shining red flag. It's flashing. So research any legal advisors or law firms you choose to work with to ensure the legitimacy of the agency. I cannot stress that enough. I've just heard too many stories, and not only from my experience, but also speaking with my lawyer, Valeria, and her team of experts. So I encourage you to schedule a visit. If you're here, schedule a consultation before you head this way. All of her information will be in the description, and also the information that I have given to you all in this video will be typed almost verbatim into the description, so that you can have notes and have references, and you can always come back to this video and share it with people who are looking to come this way and just want some general information on the process. Keep in mind again that this is my process. So if you're a digital nomad, if you're retired, student, business owner, if you're seeking permanent residency, your numbers will look different. Finances will be different. But for everybody, you will need the 12 months of bank statements. So make sure you have that readily available. They do take digital format, which is everything now these days anyway. And that is pretty much where we are now. Now, I will keep you informed on the process as I go through it. Right now, Mom and I are starting it. I'm starting it for me and her, she and I. And it's a process. You know what I mean? You got to make sure you get everything accurate. That's what Valeria was saying, that the accuracy of the paperwork, the verification of all the information, your passport information, just a simple spelling of your name. If you need an apostille, these take times because I need an apostille. So I have to send out for it, and then they have to send it back to me. So it's always good if you know somebody in the States that can assist or do whatever you need to do to get your paperwork in check. So that is where we are. Now, the weather. It is chilly today. 72 is chilly when you've acclimated to the warm, humid weather here in Merida, but it's very pleasant. I definitely would suggest visiting during this time of the year for relief. If you want to see it get as hot as it can get, then come in those hotter May, June, and July months. But it is wonderful. No AC, windows open, and at night it drops and it gets really cool. So I mentioned on my previous video, if you didn't get a chance to see it, go back and look at the weather here and the fact that they don't have heat normally in these homes, or maybe some of the more modern apartments and homes do. However, y'all know I'm in an old school house, so we just have AC, so you may need a space heater. What I will say is I should have bought my turtleneck, because at night it drops. So I like to go out and about because it's still nice and it's still festive and things always going on here, still throughout the seasons. So a turtleneck is good, so you don't need a jacket or just something very light. So if you didn't see the 5 must-brings to Merida, go back and look at it. I found seasoned salt at Soriana's. Yes, I did. So it's here. It's just, you got to look for it. And I did take all of them. I did it. Just because I didn't know if I would see them again. You know what I mean? So, but I'm sure they will restock, especially if they see them selling. I also got my first supermarket card. Just like in the U.S., they give you a little card and you put it in and you get discounts. And then what's so cool is when I go online and do an order for delivery, it retains my last order. So I don't have to search for stuff. It's just fabulous. It's just fabulous. So I miss my card, the physical part. But I tell you, between just jumping in an Uber and going to get what I need or having delivery, is such a relief. So the weather has changed. It's nice. It's cool. It's a little chilly. And then you all have all your information for starting your residency. So as you prepare to come here, definitely see about that. And you guys know I'm going to it, right? Take the course. Take the course. Get your mind right so that you can take on all of this responsibility, because it can get heavy. I have talked to you all, and I understand the dynamics of making this type of transition. It is easier said than done, and you do absolutely need patience through the process. So as you learn your language, you take your course, you call me for a consultation, you get with Valeria, you talk to her. If you're looking to go to Portugal, get somebody there. Do a consultation with them. Wherever you're going, talk with somebody who's there, and he can give you the ins and outs, and it will save you so much time and energy and headache, because it can get frustrating and you're already stressed out living where you are. So you don't need any additional stress. So take some time for y'all. I hope you enjoy the weekend. I'll be back next week. It's been a busy week for me, so I wanted to make sure I get this information because I promised it to you guys. But next week we're gonna go deep and we're gonna get into that trauma stuff we talked about. So we'll do that. And so I don't have anything else. Start your residency. Take the course. Get a consultation. Support other YouTube influencers and bloggers and vloggers that are pushing this information out, because I tell you, I heard the word heard, and I have never seen so many people ready to go. Y'all ready to go. So thank you so much for that. You all saying I'm a beacon of light. I will continue to do that and pull you through that Harriet Tubman, baby, that process, that Underground Railroad to get you here or wherever you want to be. Okay? So be inspired, be confident, and know that what you're seeking is seeking you. All right. Till next time. Peace.